It's a beautiful, beautiful sunny day. Can't think of a better fall day to be out here. We are camping on Sproule Lake, which is not too far to get in. We drove up the road towards the portage at Sunday Lake and went a little bit beyond where the first portage is. There's a second portage which is a lot shorter.
We packed everything into the canoe and put it on wheels, went down the logging road. Got to Sunday Lake, we paddled over.
Nice easy paddle across Sunday Lake. From there we head to portage, not too far. It was about 450 meters from Sunday Lake to Sproule Lake.
Ready?
I think so.
Gotta be getting close now.
It was kind of tough. I mean, I packed a lot of stuff. I tried packing it, almost all of it on my back at once, and take that and the canoe. Got a little bit over halfway, and then that was enough. It was just squishing the backpack down. I had things dangling from the back, which were kicking, hitting my feet. So we stopped. I took my pack to the end of the portage, and now come back to get some of the other gear. Fortunately, by the time I got back, Tim was carrying the canoe on his own, so saved me a little bit of a trip there with the canoe on my back.
So it looks like that's the site we want, right at the far end on the point there. Should get lots of sun whenever we want it. Looks like a nice spot for stargazing, so if it looks empty, we'll shoot for that one. Sites right here on the right hand side.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been great since we've got here. We paddled around, checked out all the other campsites on the lake. There's some reasonably good ones and some that aren't so good as well. As a campsite, I don't think I'd want to camp here. There's really nowhere to put your tent. I mean, what you see right here, that is pretty much it. There's a little bit of space up here, but what do you think? Anywhere to put a tent up there? I don't think so.
Well, there's a little spot up here.
There's something up here. We'll take a look. Oh, yeah.
This isn't great. It's got lots of rocks sticking out.
So really not the best site. I'm glad we didn't choose this one. The one we've got is beautiful. We're on a point. There's a nice open space, plenty of room to set up, well, my tent, my tree tent. Tim's kind of in a little corner, but whatever. It's still amazing here. We're going to be able to look up and see the stars if it stays clear tonight. And yeah, it's just so great to be out here for a nice fall trip.
So I set up my tent over here where there's the only little sheltered spot in the entire campsite. Now I have to inflate the mattress. If I had to do it by mouth, and it would take a long time, but I'm cheating. Ben set up his little tent about 3 stories high up into the trees.
It was exciting to come out here and be able to use my new piece of tent equipment. I have a tent style tent which hangs in the trees, which I love, but I've just got the tent style. It's a floor basically. It's the floor of the tent without the tent part on top, and this is mesh, so you can use it like a hammock, just lie on it. I set that up about 2 or 3 feet off the ground and set my tent up higher than that, so it's another 3 or 4 feet above that. So I'm quite high up. It's kind of tricky to get in. I have to climb up on the floor part and then balance and get myself up into the tent, which is pretty cool. And it's been great getting to lie out in it during the daytime too and enjoy the sun. So I'm thrilled to be able to use that. Throughout the night, it clouded over, and every now and then there was a little bit of light rain, but it was quite windy, so that rain was sort of blowing sideways. Fortunately, I had realized with the clouds coming over that we might get rain, so even though it was dark, I set up the walls for my tent, so at least it would keep the area underneath the tent slightly drier. I'm glad I put those up because that did help throughout the night. In the morning, we got up and we had breakfast, and just as we're finishing breakfast, it starts to rain, and it's raining hard. Not sure how long it rained for. It felt like a long time. Then we decided to go for a hike. I mean, what else are you going to do if it's raining? So we went for a hike along the Portage Trail towards Opeongo Lake.
Probably wasn't the wisest decision to go for a long hike when it's cloudy and raining and wet, but we decided to bushwhack over to the Portage Trail, and it was fine for the most part, and then it got narrow and all the little trees covered the trail, so it was wet. So now you're getting soaked down below, and then it starts to rain, and we thought, well, let's just keep going. We'll keep going, and then it got wetter and wetter, and we finally decided, all right, that's enough. We're wet enough.
After 3 kilometers, we decided to turn around and head back. But it was a good hike. It would have been nice to make it all the way, but we didn't.
What are you going to do? Sit and do nothing? So came back here and sat and did nothing under the tarp for a while as it continued to rain. So I think we're done with the rain for the day. So we've got to gather a lot of wood because it's going to be cooler tonight, and we're going to get toasty warm by the fire.
I looked at the weather forecast, and it looks like it's supposed to be clear overnight and then unfortunately clouding over again for tomorrow. I don't know about rain tomorrow, but I mean, I'm okay with clouds if it doesn't rain. Well, I'm up. It's a gray day. The weather forecast was right. Throughout the night, it cleared up. It was beautiful, completely clear. You could see stars. The moon was out. As the sun came up this morning, it was still clear. There was sun for a little while hitting the tent, and then you could see the clouds coming in. And just like the weather forecast predicted, clouds would come in today, and this is what we got. It was quite cool. I don't know exactly what the temperature was, but cold enough that you felt chilly. So we had a fire, partly to cook breakfast, partly just to keep warm. It has been very, very windy this last few days.
Never know what you're going to find in the morning when you just decide, hey, let's go somewhere.
We paddled over to another little portage, only a 500-meter portage, which goes to Titmouse Lake.
We did hear lots of trucks, and it seemed like they were really close. So we thought, well, let's just go up this trail and see. Looks like they're putting in a brand new logging road. It looked like this road was brand new, like they were just building it, and dump trucks were coming in and dumping a whole bunch of new fresh dirt. So once we reached Titmouse, which is kind of weird because it's a dead-end lake, there's nothing on it, no campsite, so we just portaged over there, and there's nowhere to go from there. So well, we came back, and then we hiked along what looks like they're building the new logging road, because there's markings everywhere and tape put up here and there. But it was kind of neat just to walk through the forest and up a really steep hill, by the way. I'm thinking, how are they going to get logging trucks up and down this really steep hill.
This may come as a surprise to some of you, but logging is actually allowed in the park. It's selective, and they definitely don't clear cut, but logging does take place in the park.
Did a little bit of fishing this afternoon. I'm not really expecting to catch much. It's late in the season, but it's nice just to go out and paddle around a little bit too and enjoy our last day here.
Once we got back to camp, decided to relax, lie on my floor / hammock underneath my tent. It's nicer when it's sunny and you got the sun shining on you. Right now I've got the walls up beside it, so you feel a little closed off, but it's still pretty nice. It's really, really comfortable. It's the morning of our last day. It's not quite as sunny as I'd hoped it would be. Still quite a bit of cloud. It might clear up. But all we've got left to do is pack up and go. So that's it for this trip.